All right, let's start the proceedings with Tamil Nadu, where after months of intense campaigning, the state is voting in a single phase. This is the first time that elections are going to take place in the state of Tamil Nadu without the two Dravidian icons. Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi both are not, in fact, in this election. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edapadi K. Palanisamy voted in Edapadi, while Chief Minister O. Selvam voted in Periyakulam. DMK Chief MK Stalin and his son Udayanidhi, who is also party candidate from Chepuk, voted in Chennai. Stalin said people are angry with the ruling party. Makal Niti Mayam Chief Kamal Hassan, along with his daughters Shruti and Akshara, also exercised their franchise in Chennai. Actor Rajnikant and also voted in Chennai. In Shivaganga, former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram was among the first to cast their vote. All 234 assembly constituencies are going to poll simultaneously, with fate of nearly 4,000 candidates being sealed. The AIADMK, BJP, PMK alliance is pitted against DMK Congress combined. Edapati, Kolattur and Coimbatore South will be the key constituencies to watch out, as Chief Minister Palanisamy, DMK Chief MK Stalin and actor turned politician Kamal Hassan are contesting from these constituencies.
மக்களும் தவறாமல் வாக்களிக்க வேண்டும், தங்களுடைய ஜனநாயக கடமையை ஆற்ற வேண்டும் என்று அன்போடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
குடும்பத்தோடு வந்து எங்களுடைய ஜனநாயக கடமையை நாங்கள் ஆற்றியிருக்கிறோம். தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதும் அமைதியாக மக்கள் ஆர்வத்தோடு வாக்களித்துக் கொண்டிருப்பதாக எனக்கு செய்திகள் வந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. ஆக ஜனநாயக கடமையை முறையாக தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்கள் ஆற்றிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். இதனுடைய முடிவு மே 2ஆம் தேதி சிறப்பாக இருக்கும், அது உறுதி. அதாவது ஆளுங்கட்சிக்கு எதிர்ப்பாக இருக்கிறது என்பதை நான் தெளிவாக உணர்கிறேன்.
What is the message to the people of Tamil Nadu?
Please go and vote. It's your right.
And how confident are you about your...
I am very confident. All the candidates will be confident.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Going across to my colleague Pramod Madhav, who is joining me with more details on the voting patterns as far as Tamil Nadu is witnessing so far till 3 p.m. Pramod, about 40% voting. What are you picking up, and has the voting so far been peaceful?
Well, it is a very hot day in Chennai, but even after that, people are coming over and they have casted their vote. In fact, we're at one location in Bachiyappa's College. It's almost in the northern part of Chennai, and people are coming. They are enthusiastic to vote, and the system has been made very simple for them to vote over here. And for the whole day, there have been several hangamas actually. On one side, we had political party leaders coming over and voting, and on the other side, we had superstars coming over and voting, and each and every one interestingly had their own character. And of course, we cannot negate what Vijay had done and how it had turned into a huge debate in the state of Tamil Nadu itself. But for the day, until now, things are going smooth, except for a few issues where certain parties have filed complaints against certain leaders, one on Kushbu, one by Kamal Hassan itself, claiming that a lot of booth slips were allegedly being provided by BJP cadres. Those complaints has been received by the Election Commission. But for now, by 1 p.m, we are almost touched for 40%. And the 3 p.m. results we are expecting in any minute now.
All right, Pramod, stay on with me. In fact, as Pramod was mentioning, the Bollywood stars today came out in big numbers. Being responsible citizens, actor Vijay rode a bicycle to the polling station. Ajit, though lost his cool as one of the over-enthusiastic fan, tried to force a selfie at the polling station. Meanwhile, Rajnikant and Kamal Hassan both came out and voted with their families. Take a look.
As Tamil Nadu voted, it was Bollywood's big date with ballot as well. And the stars played responsible citizens, descending on the poll booths to exercise their franchise, patiently standing in long queues for their turn. But it was superstar Thalapathy Vijay who stole the show, cycling to a Chennai poll booth to cast his ballot. The move to ditch his luxury car was seen by many as a statement against rising fuel prices. But Vijay's team clarified that the superstar used a cycle since the booth was close to his house and he wanted to avoid congestion caused by use of a car. And there was no other intention. But the DMK was quick to latch on to the claims.
Mr. Vijay is a very great person and he has come out with a very clear message that he is sending that symbolically. I'm against the price strike of petrol.
Donning a green tea and face mask on a red and black bicycle, Vijay was escorted by a group of enthusiastic fans and security officials. The images instantly went viral. He was later seen holding up his inked finger even as the security officials tried to keep fans at bay. Things were not that smooth for actor Ajit, who snapped after a fan tried to force a selfie with him. Ajit angrily snatched his camera only to return it later and asking the unruly fan to leave. Superstar Kamal Haasan, who turned up at a Chennai booth along with his star daughters Shruti and Akshara Haasan, faced crowding at the booth. Voters already standing in the queue were upset as several others started melee after the entry of Haasan family. The Makkal Nidhi Mayam chief later sent out a message against poll freebies.
The next course of action is just educate the people more about this caste distribution, how disastrous it is for their life and democracies.
Fellow superstar Rajinikanth, who narrowly missed his poll debut, was among the earliest voters to turn up in Chennai. BJP's Thousand Lights candidate Khushbu Sundar spoke to India Today after voting.
Please come out and vote. That is extremely important. Please exercise your duty as the law-abiding citizen of this country. Come out and exercise your vote.
The much-loved Bollywood setting an example for Tamil Nadu voters, leading from the front on the D-Day for democracy. With Akshay Nath, Akshata Nandagopal and Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
This election in Tamil Nadu is also going to more or less seal the fate for TTV Dinakaran and Sasikala. Their AIADMK chief, Dinakaran, in fact, exercised his franchise. He was in Chennai. Meanwhile, his party, which is in an alliance with DMDK, SDPI and Asaduddin Owaisi's AIMIM. But his aunt Sasikala could not vote in this poll. Sasikala's team calls the move unfair, alleging that her democratic right has been snatched. The team claims Sasikala was not notified about her name being removed after Jaya's Boys Garden residence became a state property. Sasikala had cried foul after her name was removed from the voters list from the Thousand Lights constituency in Chennai.
Yeah, people are voting for a change. They will not vote for the negative forces and the evil forces, and even who are the betrayers of Tamil Nadu, the people will vote against them. Surely they will vote for us, and we will form a comfortable margin. We will surely form a government.
Your aunt Sasikala is unable to vote for this election, your opinion?
Yeah, even yesterday only I came to know. I spoke to Raja Sandra Pandian and he is looking into that.
You know, as we have been seeing a trend all across the country, women voters are playing a very crucial role. In Tamil Nadu as well, women have come out in huge numbers to exercise their franchise. Now, traditionally, the women voters we have seen have been largely favouring the AIADMK. But have things changed this time post the demise of J. Lalita? And can the DMK capture a large amount of the women vote to upset what were the traditional calculations as far as the women voters are concerned?
In the big Dravidian face-off in Tamil Nadu, it's the women's vote that could swing the fortunes of political parties. The 2016 election saw a turnout of little over 73%. The number of registered women voters was 4 lakh more than men. When it comes to women voters, the AIADMK historically has the edge. A post-poll analysis by Lokniti CSDS showed 46% of women voters were in favor of AIADMK, compared to 35% for the DMK. Among men, 36% voted for AIADMK and 43% for DMK. But this time the situation is different. The charismatic Jayalalitha is not there. Plus the shadow of anti-incumbency lingers. But the AIADMK is hoping that the government's work during the pandemic and recent calamities will help it sail through. And it has been constantly reminding voters that it's carrying forward Amma's legacy.
We have our blessings, and her legacy has been fully taken in by EPS. I mean, who has emerged as the tallest leader here, and not only in the party but in the state as well. I think running the government for the last 4 years has touched every section of the society, and almost the same way as Amma took on the mantle of ADMK in 1989. In 1991, Amma toured all the constituencies and emerged as a very strong leader. That is the emergence of Amma over the past 5 years. Okay, and I think Edapadi has done the same thing.
The DMK this time has been paying special attention to grabbing the women vote. Its star campaigner Kannimuri has been seen interacting closely with women groups. Rahul Gandhi too has made it a point to actively engage women voters. The women voters may be important, but the same importance is not reflected in fielding women candidates. The DMK has given ticket to only 12 women candidates of the total 173, which is less than 7% of its total candidates. In 2016, it had fielded 18 women candidates. The AIADMK has given tickets to 14 women candidates out of 171. Congress 1 out of 25. BJP 3 out of 20. And Kamal Hassan's Makkal Needhi Mayyam 12 out of 154. But all these parties are hoping to lure the women votes with promises made in their manifestos. Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome back. Now, polling in the 140 constituencies in Kerala is also taking place today. One single phase, in fact, election. Till about 4 p.m., till about 1:40 p.m., 47.03% voters turnout has been recorded in the state. Big wigs like Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, BJP's E. Siridharan, and Leader of Opposition Ramesh Chennithala, former Chief Minister Oman Chandi, and Congress MP and star campaigner Shashi Tharoor exercised their franchise. Chief Minister Vijayan cast his vote from the Dharmadam seat in Kannur. After casting his vote, Vijayan said people will choose LTF and close BJP's account in Kerala. The BJP has fielded senior leader C.K. Padmanabhan to take on Vijayan. Congress leader Shashi Tharoor said that trend and the momentum in this election is with the UDF. Metroman and BJP candidate from Palakkad, after casting his vote, said BJP will have an impressive tally come May 2nd. As the Saffron Party is hoping to make inroads in Kerala, it fielded Rajya Sabha members Suresh Gopi and KJ Alphonse. Kerala has two main contenders in fray: CPM-led Left Democratic Front, the LDF, and Congress-led United Democratic Front, UDF.
കഴിഞ്ഞ നിയമസഭയിൽ ഉണ്ടായതിനേക്കാളും കൂടുതൽ സീറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാകും. ജനങ്ങളാണ് ഈ സർക്കാരിൻ്റെ കൂടെ എല്ലാ കാലത്തും അണിനിരന്നത്. ആ ജനങ്ങൾ തങ്ങളുടെ വിധിയാണ് രേഖപ്പെടുത്താൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഒരു സംശയവുമില്ല, LDFന് ചരിത്ര വിജയം ജനങ്ങൾ സമ്മാനിക്കുമെന്നത് ഉറപ്പാണ്.
BJP will have an impressive show this time. There's no doubt about it. And regarding myself, I have no doubt at all. I will win from Palakkad constituency with a big margin. My entry in BJP has given a different image to BJP. That all right-thinking people who are wanting the country to progress, they will now go on entering BJP.
അപ്പോൾ ഒരു വലിയ വിജയം എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞ തവണ കിട്ടിയതിനേക്കാൾ മഹാഭൂരിപക്ഷം സീറ്റ് നേടിക്കൊണ്ട് LDF അമ്പിച്ച വിജയത്തിലേക്ക് വരും. ഒരു 100-നടുത്ത് തന്നെ സീറ്റ് LDFന് നേടാൻ സാധിക്കും ഈ തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പിൽ എന്നുള്ളതാണ് തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പ് രംഗത്ത് നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നത്.
Absolutely positive sense is what I've picked up. I think the trend is with us. The momentum is with us. Even those who are not terribly friendly to us have admitted that in the last 10 days they have seen a significant shift towards the UDF, and I believe today it will translate into victory. Of course, exit polls will be taken by all the polling organizations as people come out of the booths. I think they're going to get a bit of a surprise given their earlier surveys.
Message to the people. A message to the people.
What?
A message to the people about you voted today. What would you like to tell the people?
Poll your vote.
What would you like to tell the people of Kerala?
Poll your vote. Take care of COVID.
Thank you.
Going across to my colleague Gopi Krishnan Unithan, who is joining us with more details from the state of Kerala. Gopi, it was more or less being seen as an upper hand for the LDF. Now the UDF also putting up a fight. What are you picking up from the ground? Has it been peaceful so far as far as the voting is concerned? And would the Chief Minister be able to buck the trend?
Well, Ankit, the voting has been more or less peaceful in the state during these elections. We haven't really reported too many untoward incidents or serious incidents. There have been some minor scuffles in some parts of the state, but which have already been dealt with or which are not really affecting the overall process of polling. Now, coming first to the polling trend in Kerala, as per the latest data, around 3 o'clock, 54.34% of the total electors have cast their vote or have exercised their voting rights so far. So that is more than half of the people have already casted their vote, and now this is in the afternoon period where the voting trend and the voting pace will be quite slow because of the heat. You know, it's a summer season and people would be a little reluctant to come out and vote during this time of the day. Now by around 4 o'clock is when we are hoping that the trend would again pick up, because in the morning we could see large queues outside most of the polling stations, but now as you see in those visuals, there are hardly any queues or anybody who is waiting to cast their vote. It's more or less a relaxed afternoon in the most of the polling stations in the state. Now, talking about the overall perception on the ground, as you rightly pointed out, initially it was regarded that the LDF would have a victory hands down, but as we got closer to the elections, we could see that there was a slight change in the momentum. There was a slight shift towards a UDF, at least in many of the constituencies where the LDF did not really expect that to happen. So that is what has actually given the UDF some breathing space, because now they claim that they also have a very good chance, not just a good chance, as Shashi Tharoor pointed out. They are saying that they can certainly work wonders in this election.
So will there be a surprise in store? Either way, even if Pinarayi Vijayan is able to buck the trend, it will be possibly after a very long time that there will be a government that will be repeated in Kerala. And can the UDF spring a surprise? That answer is right now being sealed in those EVMs, which we would know on May 2nd. Thank you, Gopi, for joining us. Now, I just very quickly want to shift focus to the other southern state, the Union Territory of Puducherry, which is also voting today. So all the 30 constituencies, assembly constituencies of Puducherry are also going to polls in a single phase election. What we are picking up is that 35.71% voters exercised their franchise till 12 noon. Former Chief Minister and Congress leader V. Narayanasamy cast his vote. BJP's youngest candidate, Vivian Richards, too cast his vote. He is contesting from the Nalitop constituency. A total of 324 candidates are in the electoral fray. Two contenders, one by the DMK Congress alliance and the other BJP AIADMK alliance, which is heavily relying on the rebel Congress MLAs to gain its foothold in the state. In the NDA camp, the alliance is led by NR Congress, which is contesting 16 of the 30 seats, leaving the BJP and the AIADMK with 14.
As far as this election is concerned, it's a fight between the secular forces and communal forces. Therefore, the people of Puducherry, they are well aware of the atrocities and the misuse of power by BJP government in Puducherry. I am confident that the Congress and DMK alliance will become victorious and we will be forming the government in Puducherry.
So almost 2 hours over and around 120 votes have been casted right till now. Hopefully, I'm hoping that around 90 to 95% of the votes will be casted in my constituency. I would like to not only appeal for my people, for total Pondicherry and for all the Indians, that Indians must make their vote because it is our only option and it is our only way to show that I'm an Indian. So kindly, all of them, please cast your votes.
All right. Now, I just want to shift focus from the elections to the other big story that we are tracking this evening. That is the Uttar Pradesh police, which has taken the custody of Mukhtar Ansari, MLA politician turned, in fact, Don turned politician, who is on his way from Ropar in Punjab to the Banda prison in Uttar Pradesh. He was examined by a team of 5 doctors and paramedics before being handed over to the UP police. A convoy consisting of about 100 policemen is right now accompanying Mukhtar Ansari, who is to be taken to the Banda prison in Uttar Pradesh. He will be lodged in a highly fortified solitary cell in Banda prison. The transfer comes after Supreme Court recently directed the Punjab government to hand over custody of Mukhtar Ansari to Uttar Pradesh police. The Supreme Court said Punjab has been evading transfer of the Don to Uttar Pradesh for 2 years on trivial grounds. After the order of the Supreme Court, Punjab's Home Department asked the Uttar Pradesh government to take Mukhtar's custody before April 8. Meanwhile, Mukhtar Ansari's wife has filed a petition in the Supreme Court to ensure security for Mukhtar Ansari during the transit from Punjab to Uttar Pradesh. She has also mentioned that there are fears of an encounter being in fact conducted like it was in the case of Vikas Dubey.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.